Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday, Mexican Independence Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll also be following Shawn and Maya as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on. Come on now. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the bell. That's the little notification button that's next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. You're watching this on our Roku channel. Oh, I'm sorry, not even Roku. Let me back that up a little. If you're watching this on our mobile app, come on, man. Please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. So do me a favor. If you didn't know, now you know. Go wherever you get your apps from, whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or 7-Eleven or Zayre, Zemsky's, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Weebles, Gold Blast, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence, Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. If you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor and download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your TV. Put it there next to the big boys, next to Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Prime, Apple, Disney, Paramount Plus, Stars, which Stars, by the way, was awesome. Stars, by the way, was awesome. I'm telling you, I was fired up with power, but I digress. But download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right there on your big TV. Watch it on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen, right? Mickey Ficky now. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made a nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Guys, if you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or a mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that so it makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Keep them coming. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. As The Rock said, don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, good. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, good. We got a great show for you. Cole Noble. Yeah, a new guy, a new guest we have. He works for A to Z Sports. He's going to come on at 10 o'clock at the top of the hour and talk Bears with us on this football Monday. Unfortunately, it's House Music Monday, Football Monday, unfortunately not a Bears Victory Monday. Yeah. Let's check out the chat line because it's jumping already. Cornelius Squalls, what up, sports owners? He says, well, sports, Shawn, suit up, man. We need you. I'm not running behind that offensive line. I ain't running behind that offensive line. You crazy as hell. Armando Emeterio Lara Jr., my man. Junior's in the house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Kevin Scott is in the house. Good morning. Black Diamond is in the house. You in the house early, Papa. He says, yo, top of the morning. Who did I say is the X Factor this offseason when it all started? Well, give them an F. You think so? I will talk about that because I did say who I was just talking to Steve-O about it, my producer. I said the most important acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron. Okay? Well, he's having some problems right now, and I'm not liking what he's doing. But I digress. So my question is there an issue? Is there an issue between him and Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach? Now, mind you, he's the only person on the offensive staff that was retained. And when you're an offensive coordinator, you want to bring in your own people. Okay? You want to bring in your own people. And he wasn't able to bring in his own offensive line coach. The Bears retained Chris Morgan and said, Shane, you're stuck with him because he's staying. Is there an issue there? Is there an issue there because the things that the Bears were getting beat on yesterday were high school stuff, high school mistakes at that level, twists. For the life of me, I don't understand. If you're a guy and you're inside and he crosses your face, you don't think someone else is coming back into that zone, especially if you're a center or a guard. If you're a guard and a guy crosses your face or heads outside into your tackle. If he's outside, he goes into your tackle, guess what? There's someone else coming in that middle zone, in that B gap. I don't understand this befuddlement from an offensive line. There's got to be more to the story than this. You cannot get to the NFL and not understand if a guy's in front of you, he crosses your face or attacks the guy next to you, your tackle. You can't sit there and tell me you don't realize someone else is coming from somewhere. You can't, not at that level. Hell, they even teach it in grammar schools. Here's your man, but if he goes away, someone else is coming. Sit there. And on one the show, Nate Davis, there was a triple team on the 3-tech, and a guy comes right up in the middle of the line on a twist, on a stunt. How the hell are you triple teaming? We're not dealing with Aaron Donald. We're not dealing with Reggie White. If there's a double team already, this was on Coleman Shelton, I think. There's a double team on them. You put your hand out. You just put your hand out and you wait for somebody else to come. They don't need you. Because if two men can't handle one defensive lineman, there's an issue. So you just put your hand out there and look, get your head on a swivel. I have no idea what the hell that was about. Shawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning on a House Music Monday. Jay Grizz in the house. What up, Papa? My man Armando says, I can't believe Sheldon did the same thing again on a stunt, left his area and opened the hole for the blitzer to go through. That's exactly what we're talking about, Junior, ain't it? And I know you had to be sick to your stomach as a former offensive lineman. You had to be sick to your stomach. Man. Shawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. You know, Plank in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Levette Lee's in the house on this House Music Monday. Good morning, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I think I said hi to you, Kevin Scott, but if I didn't, good morning. And if I did, you got it twice today. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for tuning in. See who else. Jay Grizzly, I want to see Get Off My Lawn Shawn this morning. Yeah, you're damn right. Oh, he's coming. He's warming up in the background. He's in the green room right now. King Booker World checking in. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. He says, salute, Chat and Shawn. I don't know, ML. Learned a long time ago. Oh, I think it's I learned a long time ago not to let the Bears blank out my mood. It's ridiculous. If the Bears O-line was just okay, the Bears went 24 to 27 to 19 last night. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. King Book of World. But that falls on polls. That falls on polls. So now here's my question. And I said this last week or 2 weeks ago. So now do you address the offensive line? Now do you address the offensive line? Because, you know, everybody's complaining. Well, the offensive line's bad. That's why Caleb looked bad. Offensive line is bad. They're letting one through. But wait a minute, all you people. The guy you wanted, right? It sounds very similar to the excuses we had, what we were saying last year about his predecessor. But it wasn't good enough last year, but now it's good enough. He's got people talking out of both sides of their mouths. My man Luis Mejia in the house. Good morning, Papa. Boricua's in the house, baby. Boricua, my man Luis. Jay Grizz, you're right. The Redskins found a way to win with their new quarterback, their QB1. Ant Moss in the house. Good morning, baby. How you doing? Louis said, jumping in and say hola, but I have to bounce. He's in Cali on grandpa duty. Hey, I hear you, Papa. That's awesome. That's awesome. Spending time with the grandkids. That's awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in, Luis. You know, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. And there's a lot to digest. All right. It goes back to when Ryan Poles decided not to bring back, oh goodness, James Daniels. Was it Daniels, the offensive guard from Iowa? Remember the dude who locked up Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Donald? Remember that? He didn't want to pay him, so he let him walk. So now, as good as Ryan Poles has been, and he's been very good, The one area that he's lacking now, he's lacking in his assessment of offensive linemen, which is very ironic because he is an offensive lineman by trade. This also falls back onto why the hell weren't you getting reps in preseason? Why? Did I not say all preseason I wanted more reps? I wanted more. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say, why are you not taking advantage of the gift that the NFL has given you? They gave you the Hall of Fame game, which you have. So you're starting earlier than everyone else, but you also get to start a week earlier because you had a new offensive coordinator. Oh, no, they didn't do that. That's only a head coach. But you're still starting earlier due to the fact that you're in the Hall of Fame game. So you start practicing earlier. You've already started implementing and installing the system with him before he was even drafted. So then why not get him live reps? Why not get him live reps in the Hall of Fame game? Remember, I said, I don't give a damn if it's just to come out, you turn around, hand the ball off 3 times, and if it's 3 and out for that Hall of Fame game, good. 3 and out, you're done. Get him acclimated to the game. I would have said leave him in for the whole first quarter. I remember me saying that. Everyone's like, no, it's a Hall of Fame game. I'm like, okay, stop wasting the gift that the NFL gave you. They gave you extra time with this quarterback. They gave you extra time with this offense. They gave you extra time for them to build chemistry, and you don't use it. Kevin Scott, he says, all of this should have been resolved in training camp. How in the hell did this O-line not get the necessary reps? Bingo. Remember I said, once you get the offensive line, that's it. You set your offensive line. I get it. You're fighting in camp, but you should have said, here's the deal. Here's my starting offensive line going into camp. You guys are doing everything together. You're getting all the number 1 reps together. Braxton Jones, tevinjenkins, whoever you decide to center. All right, was it Bates? Bates would have been the guy. Then Nate Davis at right guard, and then Darnell Wright. Unfortunately, injuries screwed everything up. Unfortunately, because then you had to put Bates in at guard, so you had to put Shelton at center. Now Bates is out. But this should have been taken care of. Jason, UK Bears, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. This is the first time I believe I've seen you in the chat. Good morning, welcome. Well, good afternoon to you out there if you're in the UK. But thank you for checking in, Papa. I appreciate it. Jason, UK Bears, I think most of us would have been okay with that scoreline a few days ago, but the manner of the defeat and the pounding Caleb ended up taking leaves a bad taste. Yeah. 11 hits, 7 sacks. 11 hits, 7 sacks. Oh yeah, Jason says it's all 3:30 over there. 6 hours ahead. Okay. So now, Post, what do? You can't do anything now during the season. But why? And here's the thing. Here's what they did. What happened yesterday is what's going to happen next week in Indianapolis. They're going to blitz the hell out of Caleb Williams. They're going to blitz the hell out of Caleb Williams. So now, what do? You have to anticipate this. Now, one thing that I was yelling about, and I was like, get that shirt. Okay, you got it going. But when they blitz, keep it going. When they blitz, keep it going. We didn't establish the run. We didn't establish the run. That was huge because they were blocking. They covered up pretty much 5 guys. I'm like, okay, perfect. 5 guys, bring in an extra tight end, put the tight end in motion because Kari Blessing was out because his hand and his knee were injured. So he wasn't active. So you bring a tight end in and you run downhill. So I'm looking like a jamoke right now because I've said all offseason, all preseason, first couple games in the regular season, well, till yesterday, that the most important acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron. He did well with Russell. He did well with Geno. And I was excited. I said, whether we kept Fields or we drafted Williams, Shane Waldron was the most important acquisition this offseason. And now he's making me look like a clown, like an idiot, because this guy doesn't want to adjust. And what do we talk about? All the things that I said. He's a teacher. He can adjust, his ability to adjust, and now you're not adjusting? What the heck? Why? Why? Why are you not adjusting? Why are you running? You have the strength of this defense was the edges. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. So why are you running outside zone? Why are you running jet sweeps? Why are you running the hell outside when that's the strength of that defense? Why aren't you staying in the middle? Why aren't you staying in the middle? You see what they're doing. They're covering up 5. They got 5 guys coming. Good. Bring a tight end in the backfield as a lead blocker, and let's run downhill. Hat on a hat right in front of us, man in front of you, take your man, fullback or lead blocker, take out the backer, and let's get off to the races. And then when we do that, and they start cheating because we start hurting them, then you pull it, and now you hit the slant to DJ. Now you hit the slant to Rome. Don't worry, Rome, I'll get to you in a second. That play calling was horrible. And then Chris Morgan. Now, I don't know if you're pissed, but you should be. Because sometimes I get it as a coach. Believe you me, I've coached for a long time. And you work on shit in practice, and the game time, they don't do what the hell you worked on. You're like, wait, I didn't do that this week at all. We didn't work on it that way, but you're doing it out there. So I get it, Chris, but this got to stop. You got to say, hey, what the hell are you looking at? Colton Shelton's got to go. Lord have mercy. Again, Ryan Poles. Why did you draft the center? Remember, I kept begging for people to draft the center. Get a center. Get a center. John Michael JMJ, the kid from Oregon. You had the Schmitz kid. You had the kid from Georgia. You had about 4 good centers. 4 good centers in this draft that we could have gotten. So now do you think it's important to build the offensive line, former offensive lineman, general manager Ryan Poles, instead of just signing Nate Davis, who you already knew had issues? Who already knew what you knew when you got him. He liked to take time off. Jay Grizz, you're right. Swift ain't no downhill run. No, he's not. Khalil Herbert is. Khalil Herbert is a good zone runner, one plant and go. And when he goes, he goes. So what their issue is with him, I don't know. I'm glad he got the tutty yesterday, though. Glad he got the tutty. Michelle Wallace says, Poles totally ignored the center. Yeah, he did. Totally ignored the center position. Tevinjenkins played like crap, too. Except when they wanted to run the ball downhill, which was like 3 or 4 plays. They wanted to run the ball downhill 3 or 4 plays, and guess what? Oh, now all of a sudden they're moving people. But you know what? Let's not go back there. Let's not go back to running downhill because that worked. Jay Grizz said, how about signing Henry or Saquon? No, it didn't matter who you signed. You didn't fix the problem. The problem is the offensive line. That's the problem. You could have had Derrick Henry needs an offensive line to get going. And now it's starting. Now you're starting to reap what you sow. And I get it. I understand. You drafted Kyler Gordon. You drafted Jaquan Brisker. All right. You traded for those linebackers. But where's the offensive line? Don't just go get it in free agency because Nate Davis isn't it. 3 years, $30 million. There's plenty of blame to go around. Rome, you got to catch that ball in the end zone. You got to catch the God blessed ball in the end zone. You're the leading receiver in the NCAA last year. First team All-America. Catch the goddamn ball. Caleb, stop running around back there. You're not Justin Fields. You don't have the ability to just take off. Oh, by the way, guess what? You can't play Superman like that anymore. These defensive linemen are bigger, stronger, faster, and quicker than Utah State. As you found out yesterday. There's blame to go around everywhere. DJ Moore, man, I don't know if you saw his body language. My man was pissed. Caleb had some horrible throws. Horrible throws. Overshot receivers, underthrew DJ Moore. On that deep route, and I know there's a safety coming over, then you got to put that on the line. He put it up. He underthrew it. He underthrows it. The DB intercepts it. Come on, man. DJ Moore won't say anything. He won't throw him under the bus. But I bet he'll be like, man, I wish I had that dude back from last year. He got me the ball. It's only game 2. All right, so believe me, the sky isn't falling. I'm not saying the season's over, pack it in. No, I'm saying there's work that needs to be done. But the issue I have is, what did I say before? There's nothing you can learn from losing that you can't learn from almost losing. And the Bears should have had that game yesterday. The Texans literally gave it to us on a silver platter, said just take it. With the 7 sacks, with the 11 quarterback hits, with the 2 interceptions, we still had a chance to win the game because of our defense. And the defense almost won the game for us. With Kyler Gordon with that almost pick 6. That would have been some shit, wouldn't it? If Kyler Gordon makes that play, intercepts that ball, takes it to the house, and we win 20-19 because of that. Jay Grizz, you're on point. He says that's what Caleb was supposedly great at, was his pinpoint accuracy. No, yes, it was. His anticipatory throws, his accuracy. All these things you're talking about, and now he looks like crap. But then you're going to throw the offensive line. But then that excuse wasn't good enough for his predecessor. But now it has to be good enough for him because you people who wanted it say it is. Come on now. I don't hear a lot of you guys chirping now. Michelle Wall says it puts pressure on the Bears defense. Yep. Kevin Scott, cannabis seeing ghosts. Yeah, cannabis seeing ghosts right now. Heck yeah. And this last one, Cornelius Squalls, I was just about to say that. Also, the Bears are still too much shotgun, which is like red meat to a D-line. Stop the shotgun nonsense. Please. What don't we understand? They're killing me, Smalls. They're killing me. Shane Waldron, last point before we got to take a break. Why the hell are you not running the ball, getting the ball out of under center after the fight on the sideline? Junior asked me why he didn't get a punch though, because that was why he didn't get a flag when he punched the guy, because there was no flag on the play. Is what they said. They didn't see the punch. There's too many people around. They didn't see the punch, so you can't say, "Oh well." Once I look at the replay, I can't. They said they couldn't throw a flag. They said it'll be handled by New York, so he'll get a fine this week for the punch. Aunt Mas, can we send this episode to the Bears organization? Yes, they need to talk to me. I'll tell you exactly what the hell's going on with them. My question is Shane Waldron. After that fight on the sideline, why did you not? And I ask you, I implore you, why did you not come out and smack him in a God-blessed mouth? Said, oh, you want to get tough? Boom, let's go. We're going 13 personnel. We'll go 2 tight ends. We'll have a tight end in the backfield, or we'll go 21 personnel or 12 personnel. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. One of the tight ends is a lead blocker, and we're coming downhill. We're going to punch you in the mouth. After you just punched our player who's on the sideline for no reason, it wasn't even in the play, said nothing to you, was just standing there when you got up and you just hit him, punched him. That was a chance to establish dominance. That was a chance to make it physical, to return the favor. That was a chance. And you blew it. The question that I asked before, the question that I've asked repeatedly is, what is the identity of this team? What is the identity of this team? Again, the sky's not falling. Don't think that my passion means the sky's falling, the Bears suck, and they're going to lose the rest of the games. No, that's not my issue. My issue was yesterday. I'm not talking about later in the season because we'll get to that later in the show. There's point in times where statements need to be made. After a fight is when on your sideline, where someone comes in on your sideline, punches your own guy in the face, and you don't say, oh, okay, how about we isolate that dude? Fullback, you find him and you blow him up. Tight end, you find him, you blow him up. That pissed me off. Because every team that I played on or coached on, but any team that I played on, they know that dude's number. Let's go get him. Junior, in this chat, would we not have singled him out? Would we not have put Tony Bell on him? Will we not? Oh, we are isolating that son of a gun, and we are going to come at him. We'll tell him we're coming at him. You don't do that to one of our players. And that's the problem with the NFL. It's so soft nowadays. Oh, you do that on our sideline to our player? We got you. Junior says, we sure would have. You're damn right we would have said Tony Bell on him. Big shout out to my fullback, Tony Bell. We got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we will get to the top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Move it!
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
For Caleb. Texans bring 4. Williams throws. It is caught on the sideline. Let's see. Rule the catch to 35 by DeAndre Carter and a first down for Chicago. Little tempo from the 35. Quickly out. Carter makes a man miss down the sideline. Call the defense. Brings 5 here. Williams gets it out. Gets it complete to DeAndre Swift. Swift the back 3rd and 2. To him, slant is caught. First down for DJ Moore. And Santos straight away knocks it through.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC, as the game was on NBC last night. Sunday Night Football. Bears fall to the Texans. Well, let's get right to it, guys. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, baby. The first top of the morning topic. You know where we're going. All right. You know where we're going. This one. Boy, is it frustrating. Very frustrating. Bears. Chicago Bears lose to the Houston Texans yesterday, 19-13 down in Houston in H-Town. Caleb Williams, rough day, 23 of 37, 174 yards, 2 picks with a 51.0 quarterback rating. He also carried the ball for 5 times for 44 yards. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 18 yards with a wonderful 1.3 yards per carry average. Wonderful. Khalil Herbert, 2 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore, you saw in the highlights, 6 catches, 53 yards. Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that more. Moving on, the next top of the morning topic. Let me tell you something. I'm fired up, baby. I'm fired up. My White Sox, yay, yay. The White Sox beat the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland A's yesterday on the south side 4-3. 1-2 tree. They beat the Oakland A's 4-3 yesterday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Shawn Burke got his first major league victory yesterday. He's 1-0. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 punch-outs. Brian Ramos, 2 for 3 with a double, his third, a homer, his second, driving in his 5th RBI of the season. Gavin Sheets, 1 for 4 with a homer, his 10th of the season, driving in his 44th and 45th runs of the year. Andrew Vaughn was 1 for 4, driving in his 64th run of the year. Lewis Robert was 1 for 3, connecting on his 16th double, his 2-back, 16th of the season. The white-hot White Sox are now have an extended 2-game winning streak. We are fired up on the south side. And it doesn't stop, but wait, there's more. It doesn't stop. You know why? Because the next top of the morning topic is the Sox travel to Anaheim to face the Angels. First pitch tonight is at 8:38 p.m. Central Time. I don't know. I didn't make the first pitch time. I just report it. I just tell you about it. All right? Damn it. 8:38 Central Time. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to it on their flagship station, AM 1000. The probables for tonight's game, Jonathan Cannon. For the White Sox, he's 3-10 with a 4.56 ERA going up against Reed Detmers, who's 4-6 with a 5.64 ERA. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. The next top of the morning topic. All right. The Cubs, they beat the Colorado Rockies 6-2. Kyle Hendricks, the professor, gets the dub. He's 4-11 on the year. Whew, that's tough. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 punch-outs. Michael Busch, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs, his 19th and 20th of the season, driving in 3 runs, bringing his total to 63 on the season. Nico Horner was 2 for 5 with a double, his 32nd of the year, driving in his 43rd run of the season. And Pete Crow Armstrong was 1 for 4 with a homer, his 10th of the season, driving in his 45th and 46th runs of the season yesterday. Good day for the Cubs. But it doesn't stop there. But wait, there's more. The Cubs, they welcome the A's. The A's go from the south side to the north side. The Cubs welcome the Oakland Athletics to Wrigley Field. First pitch today is at 6:40 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Probables for the game tonight. Joey Estes for the A's is 7-7 with a 4.36 ERA going up against Shota Imanaga, who's 13-3 on the season with a 3.03 ERA. Oh, the warden's gone. Perfect. The next top of the morning topic, man, we were looking for the sweep. Well, I guess we really couldn't sweep yesterday. The Skyfall to the Phoenix Mercury, 93-88. Yeah, it was a tough one. Kennedy Carter led the way with 20 points. Michaela Onyenwere had 18 points, 9 rebounds. And Banham, I forgot her first name. Lord have mercy. Banham, she contributed 17 points, 7 assists. Missing Angel Reese is huge. You know why? And I didn't see if she got hurt, but Camila Cardozo only played 9 minutes, so I'm thinking she may have gotten because her stat line was pathetic if she didn't get injured. All right, her stat line was pathetic. Camila Cardozo, she had 2 points, 3 rebounds in 9 minutes. She was 1 for 1, so that's why I'm thinking she got hurt. I didn't get a chance to look at this. I was working more on the Bears stuff. Yeah, that's what it was. So Annie, according to Annie Costabile in the Sun Times, it said Camila Cardoso aggravated her right shoulder injury in the Sky's loss to the Lynx on Friday. All right, if you remember, she set out the beginning of the year. She only played 9 minutes, had 2 points, 3 rebounds. She was held out of the second half because of pain in her shoulder. So yeah, that's what Camila Cardoso. So, but where was Isabel Harrison? All right, 10 points, 8 rebounds. All right, here's a chance where people like Isabel Harrison need to step up. 10 and 8's nice, but we need more. Dana Evans, 13 and 2, 13, 2 and 5 helpers. All right. They fall short to the Mercury again, 93-88. Michonne, yes, the Sox finally won a series. Beautiful. We are on a roll. Okay. Kevin, you put in the chat. Cardoso hurt his shoulder in the first quarter. Yes, thank you. King Booker World said my future ex-wife got hurt. You're a fool. Jason from the UK said, Booker. Hey, she's going to be your ex-wife after she's my ex-wife. Hope you're okay being a stepdaddy because we're going to have some kids. Man, at 6'7", she's 6'7"? Man, we're having some Derrick Henrys and one of the kids can block for the other kid. Let me tell you something, Michelle. I go back to this one. Yes, it's been months, where they say April, May, since the first time they won a series. Unbelievable. Brian Sandalo with a nice article in the Chicago Sun-Times today. Make sure you go check that out. Brian Sandalo, the second sentence in his article, it says, here's the first one. It says, for at least a few hours, the White Sox don't have to think about their march to infamy. This sentence: by beating the Athletics 4-3 on Sunday, the Sox won a series for the first time since June 28th through the 30th against the Rockies. They won consecutive games for the first time since a three-game run, June 27th, 28th, and 29th. That is crazy. So the White Sox now have 35 and 115. So they're 150 games. Wow. 150 games in. 40, 50. 12 games left. 12 games left. Jason, UK Bears says, I absolutely have no clue about baseball or basketball. Never watched any. I'm a football guy. Hey, I hear you, Jason. I hear you. I just played all sports as a kid growing up. And I know, and I'm just a sports fiend. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. But my main thing is football. But I know all of them very well. So there's 150 games played. So there's 12 games left. 6. Sox got to win 7 of them. 7-3. 6-4. You can go 6-4 and you'll finish with 119 losses and you won't tie. You won't tie for the worst record, the most losses in the modern day era of professional baseball. Oh my goodness, my White Sox are terrible. Terrible. But that's all right. That's okay. Oh man, we got to go to break in a few minutes. But I want to get back to that what we started talking about, and that's this Bears team. There was a point Jason said, that's a lot of games. How long is the season? Well, the season is not just the season. So they report, pitchers and catchers report at the end of February, Jason. Okay? There's 2 spots in baseball. They have it in Florida, in and around Tampa. They moved everybody from all over Florida in and around Tampa. And the other part of the other half or so are in and around Phoenix, Arizona. So pitchers and catchers report the last week and a half or so of February. March is when they have spring training. Okay. April is when they start playing games. Usually like March 30th, 31st, and then April, whatever. But usually April 1st. You got April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay. Then you got the playoffs. So it'll go, and I'm not sure if the World Series is going to go into November again. But so you're talking about from late February, beginning of March to October, November is their season. But playoffs and World Series included. So it is a long season. King Booker World says, no, they have to be the best at being horrible. I hear you. I just don't want that infamy because I was kidding, but I don't. I really don't. I don't need them. And plus, I don't want, just finish. We can finish at 119 and we're good. It's still not the worst record. But they're bad. They're horrible. And unfortunately, I was at the game on Friday. Oh man. Jason says, thanks. Thanks for the info. I learned something. No problem, Papa. I was at the game Friday because it was Hispanic Heritage Night. As you see, I'm wearing my Mexican hat, baseball hat from the World Baseball Classic. All right, I'm wearing my shirt from St. Rita High School. They have the Mexican flag in there, honoring Mexican heritage. For those of you who don't know, I am Mexican, half black, and I am proud of both cultures that make up the SuperBack. So if you're in and around Chicago this weekend, man, it was crazy. I hope you weren't on Pulaski anywhere. They were driving with their flags out. They had El Grito Fest downtown. They had the Mexican a Hispanic fest downtown because they thought if they had the fest down there that it would stop people from driving downtown with the flags and causing crazy traffic like it did the last couple of years. Yeah, that didn't work. I'm like, who thought of this? So you're gonna bring more Mexicans and Hispanics downtown to the Grant Park for the Grito Fest, okay? And you don't think more people are gonna come and cruise? What? Come on now. All right, see, Jay Grizz, it was all fun and dandy. So now, see, I don't even know if I can rock with you anymore, Jay Grizz. I don't even know if I can rock with you, Papa. I don't even know. I don't even know. King Booker World said, I live in Logan Square. It was nuts. If it was nuts in Logan Square, that's on the north side, people. Man, you should have seen Pulaski on the south side. I made the mistake of getting caught in that. I had to get off and go down 47th. Man, that was insane. I was stuck on the off ramp on I-55 on Pulaski. For those of you who live in Chicago and know, I was stuck on the off ramp for a half hour, right in the middle. Couldn't go anywhere for a half hour, 30 minutes. I was stuck because the intersection at the top was gridlocked. It was gridlocked. Everybody had their flags out, and I finally got to 47th. About 40 minutes later, because it took me about 10 minutes to go, half a mile? I got to 47, hung right on 47, went to Cicero, like I'm out. Oh, man. Love you. It's all love, Jay Grizz. I get you. So, yeah. So if you're out, man, Mexican Spice House, man, we were going crazy over the weekend. Crazy with the flags and the hood thing, people hanging out cars and blasting music. We're just proud of our heritage. That's all. That's all. So great weekend. Great. I'll talk about it later as we close out the show. We got to take a quick break because on the other side of the break, we're gonna welcome Cole Noble. He's new to the program. He works for A to Z Sports. We're going to talk to him about the game yesterday. So, King Booker World said, took me 15 minutes to get from Fullerton to Springfield, Fullerton to Hamlin. That's literally like a block, for those of you who don't know. Actually, that's two city. It's one city block. Hamlin is 4,800. 3,800 and Springfield is 3,900. It's one city block. It took them. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Well, listen, we'll be right back. Keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Looking to take off. He does. Caleb inside the 5. Puts his shoulder down. Gets towards the 2. 5.5 games and none of them have thrown a touchdown pass. It's a give to the end zone. Herbert. Touchdown. Chicago Bears.
They did this one-man short here. Nate Davis was supposed to be the lead blocker on the play. He gets tripped up by the penetration. Can't get out there, and they still score. Nice drive that time. Nice drive by the Bears.
There's the first touchdown.
Nate Davis, you son of a biscuit. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC. Those are the good guys, baby. Our Bears. They took the hard L yesterday. A game that was there for the taking. They took the L 19-13 yesterday in Houston in Energy Stadium, where Chicago showed out. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you, my cousins were down there. So my cousin lives in Houston. His niece, so she's technically my second cousin. She lives in Austin, so she drove to Houston for the game. A lot of my peoples from Output went down to the game. And then a whole bunch of other people on my timeline like, oh, snap, you're at the game too. Excuse me. Chicago showed up and showed out yesterday over the weekend in Houston. So tough loss. If you heard "Let's Go Bears" toward the end of the game, I was like, "Whoa!" They were rolling deep, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. King Book of World. He said, I said F it and started honking my horn too. That's awesome. King Book of World, that is awesome. Roberto Ramirez checking in. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. He's like, dude, Nate Davis and Sheldon suck. Yeah. End of discussion. Yes, they suck. Cornelius Squall says Nate pulled a speed bump Charlie on that move on that one. Dude, he didn't. Don't even get me started on Nate Davis. Please don't even get me started on him. He's well. My guest today, first guest today is he works for A to Z Sports. He covers the Bears for A to Z Sports, and it's his first time. So make sure we welcome him in. You can follow him on Twitter at that's your. I put that. I put your email address on there instead of your Twitter handle. Oh, snap. You can find him on Twitter at A_slaw. Well, I'll ask him what slaw means. All right. Guys, welcome for the first time to Shawn and Maya, Cole Noble. Cole, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Shawn, how's it going? Great to be here. It's a pretty bittersweet morning. Tough loss last night, but like you said, the fans showed out last night. The offense didn't, but the fans definitely were in full force at Houston.
Yeah, I was not happy with the offense. You know what? I'm eating a lot of crow right about now because one of the things that I said the entire offseason that the most important acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron. To me, it didn't matter if you kept Justin or if you drafted Caleb. The most important guy was going to be the guys calling the plays, developing the quarterback, because obviously developing the quarterback is the most important thing in pro sports. Well, with the game that he called yesterday made me look like a fool, and I'm not happy with it. Give me your thoughts overall on, just first on the game, generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line's a big concern. I'm sure we've already harped on that already too much, even though it hasn't even been, we're still in the 24-hour window, and the offensive line was bad. Flat out, they struggled all game. They had no push in the run game, but a lot of it is on the play calling. I mean, I expected a lot more out of Shane Waldron. All summer everyone talked about, what this unit could look like. There was going to be some early struggles. We knew that, but I mean, it's a lot of the same thing over and over. And I've been impressed with Eberflus. I mean, the first two games, his defense in the second half has been lights out. The second half adjustments have been there defensively, but on offense, they come out and they're running the same exact thing over and over again, trying to find something that works, and then nothing's going for it there. And the deep balls, aren't there either. I mean, Caleb Williams can't complete a pass more than 10 yards down the field. Just a lot's going wrong, with Shane Waldron and this offense they're trying to cook up in Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm not very happy with, like many Bears fans. This falls squarely in the lap of Ryan Poles. All right, we saw him build this team. We saw him build this, with his first draft 2 picks, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker. Or like, okay, interesting, but okay. And the first year they had their struggles, but toward the end of the year, Kyler Gordon kind of figured it out. Jaquan Brisker, like, okay, these could be good pieces. The only guy he's drafted, offensive lineman he's drafted that started was Darnell Wright, who I love, who I thought was going to be able to handle Will Anderson. But the combination of Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter on Darnell Wright really did a number on him. But he hasn't really addressed the offensive line since in the draft with a high pick, and that bothers me. Does that bother you?
Yeah, I mean, especially as a guy who's a former offensive lineman, he should know more than anybody what it means to protect a quarterback. And, he tried to go out, he really wanted to get Ryan Bates, and not having Ryan Bates, I think, is really going to, make an impact for this team, because they're going to be forced to start Coleman Shelton and Nate Davis going forward. Matt Eberflus said last week, is it going to be an option to rotate in Matt Pryor? And he said no. I mean, last week in week 1, we saw him rotate, Nate Davis and Ryan Bates. And then, after that, shoulder arm injury he had that put him on the IR, now they're in a bind. I mean, Doug Kramer's not going to come into this game. And I mean, Matt Pryor looked good in the preseason. Maybe next week, you try to rotate if Nate Davis keeps struggling and try to figure something out there at right guard. But, that was the one big move, they tried to make this offseason outside of, Coleman Shelton. And then, he ended up winning the battle just because of injury. But, Ryan Bates, that is just an unfortunate situation and the only remedy, they probably could have had with this offensive line this year.
Yeah, this offensive line is pathetic.
Yeah.
as my guy King Booker World said, the Chicago Bears O-line brought to you by Temu. You're on point, good. King Booker World. You're on point. Let's talk to me about Caleb. Caleb is having his issues. All right, he's missed quite a few receivers, underthrown, overthrown, just clear shots he's missed. What do you think the reason is, and what can he do to start hitting these receivers?
Yeah, I mean, they're close. If you look at these incompletions, they're so close to hitting and being big plays. I mean, I keep looking back at that incompletion he had to Roma Dunze in the end zone on that slant against Lassner.
I think that was more Dunze than him.
Yeah, that ball was there. I mean, that you cannot have put that ball in a better spot. I mean, the way the corner had him pressed up, that was the only read on the play, and he put it where only a Dunze could grab it. And 2 hands on the ball, you just got to come down with it. So some of these misfires and miscues, they're so close to connecting and being big plays for this Bears offense. And the thing I'm looking at is DJ Moore. Last year, one of the best deep ball players in the league and one of the best vertical route runners. We haven't seen him going vertical. The biggest plays he has are drags across the field 10, 15 yards that he's turning in to just a little bit more after the catch. But I don't understand why Shane Waldron's not getting him vertical. I mean, we know Caleb Williams has an arm. We saw it during camp. We saw it during the offseason, hitting deep passes to some of these receivers, and it's just not there. And also, I mean, I want to go on this a little bit too, is Tyler Scott. I mean, they talked about a big opportunity they said for him this week with, a Dunze, coming into the game, questionable with his knee injury. You had Keenan Allen out, but Odunze still plays, almost 100% of the snaps. And then DeAndre Carter's out here, getting 4 targets and, I think it was only 3 snaps for Tyler Scott. That doesn't seem like a big opportunity. I don't know what happened during the week that changed that, but it's, it sounded like going into this game that, a former last year's 4th round pick might get involved today.
Yeah. And guys, we're joined by Cole Noble from A to Z Sports, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was another thing that I thought about. I was like, wait a minute, we saw no Tyler Scott. And I would have liked to have taken a shot deep. And I understand he was under pressure almost all the time, but there were plenty of times that he stepped up through the pressure, stepped up through, climbed the pocket and bought more time. I would have liked to seen a shot deep, and I didn't see very many. And it was frustrating. It was really frustrating. What do you think goes in this week? And how do you think Shane Waldron adjusts next week? Because if Indianapolis, who just played Houston last week, they saw that we can blitz and our quarterback and have success, what the hell do you think Indianapolis is going to do?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to send the stunts. I mean, Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates Nate Davis, excuse me. Coleman Shelton and Nate Davis cannot pick up a stunt. I mean, they're hitting them with the stunts, they're blitzing. And it's not just the O-line. Matt Eberflus talked about it last night. The tight ends aren't getting, the chips on the edges. The running backs aren't picking up, the blitzing linebackers as well. But with the Colts, I mean, we saw Green Bay on Sunday run all over them in the first half. The secret to this team, they have to get the run game going. I don't know if that's going to be DeAndre Swift. I don't know if that's going to be Khalil Herbert, or if they get Roschon Johnson involved. They need to do something and switch something to get the run game going, because that's going to help everything else open up. And the offensive line, they have to get some kind of a push up front as well. And I mean, 4 of these guys up front played with Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson last year. Both guys still averaged 4 yards a carry. Maybe you start sprinkling them in a lot more and, stop using DeAndre Swift 85% of the time on offense, or whatever the number was yesterday. Maybe that helps against that Colts defense.
Yeah, that's a little bothersome. I liked, DeAndre Swift I like the signing, but right now it's not bearing any fruit. Give me your thoughts, and this just came across to me this morning when I started the show. Could there be an issue between Shane Waldron and Chris Morgan? Because Chris Morgan was basically force-fed him to Shane Waldron. Like, this is your offensive line coach. As an offensive coordinator, you want to bring in your people, your receivers coach, your O-line coach, your running backs coach, your tight ends coach. You bring in your people. He didn't have that luxury. And now we're having a big problem with this offensive line. and literally on high school bullshit. This is not, they're not coming in some exotic stunts. This is literally ET stunts, TE stunts, and centers can't pick it up. Guards can't pick it up. Do you think there could be something going on, or there's an issue or a rift between Shane Waldron and Chris Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. It might be a little too early to be saying like there's disconnects with the coaching staff and everything until this issue, I mean, if it persists week after week after week, then you might start seeing something on the sidelines, between the coaching staff and whatnot. But right now, it seems like they have a cohesive group. They want, everyone in-house wants to get things figured out going forward. It's just whether or not they can put all the tools on the table and get it done. I mean, the tools are there. They just got to, do something and work with it. But yeah, I mean, Shane Waldron he had to come in, like you said, and, have the staff already pretty much mostly in place and the guys he was having to work with. And I don't know. One thing with Shane Waldron too is it seems like he's using a lot of the guys he's liked as well. I mean, we did see Cole Kmet get a lot more, snap counts and usage this time out of Gerald Everett.
Thank goodness.
But Travis Homer also getting a lot of work out of the backfield was pretty alarming to see yesterday, seeing him on the field as much as he was on offense.
Yeah, and I was wondering when I saw Travis Homer a couple times and he had a couple carries. I remember because he got thrown down like a rag doll. Yeah. And I'm like, why not Roshan Johnson? Like, he's dressed, he got punched in the face. So I mean, talk to me about this. And I just went on a rant on this, and I don't know your athletic background or anything, but when there's a fight on the sideline and you have the ball and that dude takes a swing, my thing is every team that I played on, we would have isolated that son of a gun. Okay. All right, bet. ISO. All right. And we did. I had a fullback. I was a running back. So I had a fullback, and it happened a couple times. Some dude took a swing, isolate him, and fullback, you got the linebacker. You got this dude. You got this dude. Whoever that punk was, we're going to run this play like 3 times. We don't care if we get a first down. We're going at him. That sets the tone. Talk to me about why do you think Shane Waldron didn't want to set the tone, come downhill? That's the first question. But also, do you think that they even have an identity yet?
I'll answer the second one first, and I don't think they have an identity. I mean, you look at it, what is their identity? Short passes and, allowing 3 players on the defense to get 10 tackles where you're, behind the sticks, you're not moving the ball downfield, you're running, DeAndre Swift right into the back of your offensive lineman and getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. They do need some sort of identity. What that is going forward, I'm not sure what it's going to be. I keep going back to I want deep balls. You got to take shots. You got to be aggressive with this offense, with the playmakers you have. And back to your first question, I mean, after Roshan Johnson gets punched in the face on the sideline, personally, I'm putting Roshan Johnson in the backfield on the next play and going to get your lick back. I mean, he's a physical, powerful runner. Put him in the backfield and let him, he's already amped up. He's probably not happy after that play. He's just standing there minding his own business in the middle of the scrum. And, Aziz gets up and just clocks him right in the head. So, I would put him in the backfield a lot more. Put these powerful runners in the game because the offensive line is getting no push, and you're getting a dynamic guy like Swift trying to run behind it who can't. I mean, he's not going to make 4 guys miss in the backfield and be able to make a play on it.
So one of the things that I'm having an issue with Waldron is, and I love the DeAndre Swift signing. However, yesterday was a physical game, not his type of game. Why do you think they did not put Khalil Herbert in? We've seen Khalil, I don't think Khalil Herbert's any type of bruiser by any stretch. But when he's a one cut and go, when he cuts and he goes. He's a powerful runner. Why do you think they didn't include him and Roshan Johnson more when that type of game was so physical, and that physical style of play isn't necessarily the best way to use DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I mean, he's out there 66% of the snaps. He played 46 offensive snaps yesterday. And that's just not just that, running back. They're trying to move him around the formation. I can't discredit them. They're trying. They're trying to get DeAndre Swift involved. They paid him a lot of money. They need to get him involved. He had 4 catches this week after having 1 target last week in the passing game. That helps. He should be the guy to where he's the dump off for Caleb Williams. He's the guy that, if you get him on an outside run, he can make a big play on it. But inside the tackles, it's been a trouble for DeAndre Swift the last 2 weeks. And they need to recognize that. They cannot just keep running him inside over and over and over when they're not getting any push on the offensive line. He's not that kind of a back that should go in there and get the hard yards when he needs to get the hard yards. I mean, we saw the touchdown with Khalil Herbert. Like you said, he's not a bruiser back by any means, but still. And a play where Nate Davis is pulling from right guard, trips up, doesn't even make it halfway across the line of scrimmage and falls down. And 2 guys in Khalil Herbert's face, he's still able to make a cut and get into the end zone for a score. I don't know that DeAndre Swift scores that touchdown.
I agree with you 100%. I don't think he scores it at all. And that's the thing that bugs me. And what do you think the issue is with Khalil Herbert? Because they haven't used him. Is it just him? Is it just Shane Waldron, playing his favorites? Because Khalil Herbert, if he was the bell cow, and there's not too many bell cows in the NFL anymore, but like he could get 1,000 yards if you gave him the ball. I mean, we could have a running back like with 1,000, another guy with 600-700 yards. That's running the ball. Why do you think they're not using Khalil Herbert?
Yeah, the personnel usage by Shane Waldron was frustrating last week, and it's still frustrating this week. I mean, it's hard to understand the players he's putting into place and the players he's not putting on the field as well. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team that they need to be utilizing, and not just utilizing in the same way. I mean, even Rome Odunze, last week I only had 1 catch, and it was even his 1 catch was a tipped pass he jumped up and caught. They're not using him effectively. He only had 2 for 33 today. Last night was good out of him, and it took a public outcry to get Cole Kmet on the field more than 11 or 20 something snaps he played last week. He finally a lot of usage out of Cole Kmet yesterday, and finished with 4 for 27 through the air. So it was a lot better seeing him get on the field as well. But there's a lot of weapons on this Bears team. They just got to figure out, the best way to put them in place and the best way to use each one of them, because, they're not just cookie cutter guys. You're not going to put them in and run the same plays over and over with, the same guys.
Guys, we're joined by Cole Noble from A to Z Sports, who covers the Bears for them. We're talking Chicago Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. But you had all offseason.
Yeah.
Shane Waldron had the entire offseason to come up with plays. If I were him, I'd be like this. I'd be like a sinister villain in a dungeon thinking about crazy-ass plays that I could put up with all the talent I have around me. Talk to me about how important, or if you think, because I'm livid about it, their lack of playing time in the preseason is affecting this group now.
Yeah, I mean, the group looked good, from everything that was shown, playing against a strong defense that, is in Chicago all summer long. And, it's kind of the same thing. We saw somewhat of success during the preseason. It wasn't, anything too crazy, especially compared to what we're seeing now. But yeah, I mean, you obviously always with a young quarterback want to see more reps. And, until he gets those reps.
The NFL gave us a gift.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us the Hall of Fame game. So now we have an extra preseason game, besides the Texans, of course, but an extra game no one else has. So now you have 4 preseason games to get Caleb, this offensive line in, and you don't play him in 2.
No. I mean, you have a rookie quarterback learning a new system. All these players are learning the system for the first time. There's been issues at the start of training camp with, how this offense looked, the plays that were being, drawn up, and then they show up in the preseason, and then all of a sudden you go into the last game and they take everybody out. And then you go into the regular season and still the offense looks lethargic. No one knows what they're doing out there. The offensive line's horrible. The play calls are horrible. Yeah, I mean, definitely the lack of action in the preseason definitely had something to do with this.
And I was very adamant about it. And I was livid. And I said, even in the show this morning, I'm like, all you had to do, even if for the Hall of Fame game, even if for Caleb, you got him out there 1 series. I would have liked the whole first half. Okay, I'll settle for a quarter. But even if it was 1 series and he turned around and handed the ball off 3 times, 3 and out, That's more time. That's more cadence. That's more practice. That's more live game situation than you're in. And I don't understand why they had got that gift and didn't use it, didn't maximize it. And to me, it's bothering me because this offense, hell, they were installing this offense before he was even drafted, according to multiple reports. All right, they knew they were drafting him. His quarterback coach and Shane Waldron are friends, so you know they're installing stuff. Why do you think this thing is so bad? Why do you think this offense? Let me ask you this. Let me switch specifically to the offensive line, not just the whole offense. Darnell Wright had 2 false starts yesterday. It was loud in there. How much of that is on him? How much of that is on Shelton? Because they had to have worked on a silent count. And, Nate Davis is letting him know when to snap. And there's a rhythm. All right, when I get it to you, 1001, 1002, snap. How much do you think that he screwed up and was not snapping it on rhythm? And so how much was those false starts were on Darnell Wright, and how much was that on Coleman Shelton?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they definitely had to go into a little bit of a silent count there. And I mean, there's one play Nate Davis reached over, told Coleman Shelton when to snap the ball, and then Nate Davis is still the one that jumped off sides and had the false start. And he's right there next to the guy, and should be looking at the ball in those situations where in your silent count, that's all you can do. You got to sit there and you just have to look at the ball. You can't go off of what the quarterback's saying, getting ready for the snap. And all these issues on the offensive line, you have to go back to all the ins and outs. Yeah, like you said right there, playing musical chairs all through training camp. I mean, Darnell Wright was out a little bit. Braxton Jones was out a little bit. Tevinjenkins, in and out. He pretty much was in there the most out of the 5. And then the center, I mean, you had the center battle all training camp. It's going to be Bates, it's going to be Shelton. Is Bates going to play guard? Is Nate Davis going to play guard? Nate Davis is hurt all camp. Now he's back in, and they're rotating him in and out in week 1. I mean, there's just a lot of disconnect. They need some consistency, some cohesion on that offensive line. And I mean, reps is the only way to do it. They just have to keep playing with the 5 they have. And, that's why I said, at this point, you can't just say, okay, Doug Kramer, you're playing center. Matt Pryor, we're going to try you at right guard. With Caleb Williams and a rookie quarterback, you can't do that. You just have to keep the 5 you have right now, as bad as they're playing, just because you need some kind of cohesion with that group.
So we're going to put the same 5 out there and get Caleb sacked another 7 times and hit 11 times? I mean, why not bring in Doug Kramer? It can't get worse, can it? I mean,
yeah, it can. But I mean, at this point, they have to figure it out. These are the 5 that they have to put out there. And, last year playing musical chairs with the offensive line is what hurt, Justin Fields in the unit too. And they just have to grow with each other, the 5 that's out there, and figure things out. And, if it keeps going for another week or 2, then you have to make a move. But right now you have to keep what you have and just hope Coleman Shelton and Nate Davis figure it out on that inside.
Well, I won't hold my breath on them figuring it out. So what do you think that Shane Waldron has to do now? Because as I said, Indy's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Indy's coming. All right. I don't understand how Indy's able to make 3 huge pass plays last week. Excuse me, against the Texans, and we can't get anything more than 10, 15 yards. But I digress. What does Shane Waldron do now? Because if you're going to keep these 5, what does he have to do to get the ball out to help from Caleb from getting assaulted again?
I mean, I would say get the ball out of his hands, but I mean, they're trying. I mean, every pass he's throwing is short passes. I mean, maybe, you have, some plays designed with DeAndre Swift. I mean, they tried to do that screen pass last night. It looked like it was there and ended up going incomplete. Maybe, something like that, where you get some of these guys out in space to help block and get some plays going downfield. But I mean, it's tough going right now. It's definitely tough sledding until you can get something figured out with this unit. I mean, the shots have to be there. You have to be an attacking offense. I mean, with the weapons you have, the quarterback you have, and, the way he can do it, you have to attack down the field, get these big bodies, the tight ends, hopefully Keenan Allen back next week, attack the middle of the field against this Colts defense.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if that's going to work, because this is This is frustrating. And again, I'm not a Chicken Little kind of guy. The sky's not falling. It was one game, and I think but the thing is, I look at every game, and see that Houston didn't want that game. Houston kept giving us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to take it and run with it. Hell, the defense almost took it. Kyler Gordon, man, able to catch that pick that he took to the house. Man, we would win the game 2 weeks in a row without a. No, we would score. We did score. Well, 2 weeks in a row because of the defense, the special team. So, I don't know what the heck they're gonna do. I really don't. I really don't, because this has got to stop. And I hope Shane Waldron is able to hit DJ Moore. What do you think the reason why they didn't go to DJ? He only got hit. He only had 6 catches, I want to say, for 53 yards. Why not why not force it into him? I mean, the dude makes plays every time he gets the ball, and he's a hell of a yak guy once he does catch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you look at, the stat line and you look across at the other side. I mean, Nico Collins has 10 targets, 8 receptions, 135 yards, and a touchdown. All the guys after him, match up similarly. I mean, Stephon Diggs, 37 yards. Roman Dunze had 33. Joe Mixon, 25. We had, DeAndre Carter, 32. Cole Kmet, 27. The issue is, DJ Moore, 10 for 6 for 53 yards. You need to get DJ Moore going down the field. Like I said earlier, he last year was one of the best vertical route runners in the league. And instead of, he's just running a lot of these screen passes, he's running a lot of these, drags across the field, intermediates. Get DJ Moore down the field and get him some shots his way, and good things will happen. I mean, he had that one, 50-50 ball that, just the cornerback got, back inside on DJ Moore, but those shots, just keep taking them. Eventually they're going to hit, and DJ Moore is going to make a big play with the ball down the field. Yeah,
that ball was underthrown. Caleb didn't step into it. And Caleb's doing a little bit too much of putting a little too much touch on the ball. I'm not liking it. There's times where it needs to have some touch on it. There are times when it needs to be a humpback line drive. There are times when it needs to be a fastball. All right, there's different. And yesterday he threw too many balls with a lot of air underneath it, and I didn't like it. He's got to do a much better job, because that's really pissing me off. There were a couple of plays he missed too many receivers yesterday, and the thing that had coming out was his accuracy, his anticipatory throws, and this. Everyone loved to say anticipatory, and I'm like, it's. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a Justin guy. I support Caleb, but I'm not seeing what everyone's talking about. Oh, this is the best prospect in ever come out of college, or some people said, whatever. I'm a little annoyed with that, dude. I'm a little annoyed, and it's frustrating to see. What does Shane Waldron have to convey to Caleb Williams after this horrible game? 2 picks, probably should have been like 4, but one was taken back for sure. What does he have to do? What does he have to tell Caleb in practice starting today when they come back for film?
Yeah, I mean, at some point you can always say the team will take you so far, and these miscues, misconnections, the issues with the touch, like you're saying, from Caleb Williams, those kind of things, he needs to iron out on his own. And Shane Waldron needs to talk with him about some of these things and say, hey, how can we turn these incompletions into completions? How do we get the ball into the hands of our playmakers and get some of these plays cooking down the field and get this offense moving in the right direction? But I think Caleb has a good head on him. I think he understands, what he needs to do going forward. Anytime you listen to the press conference, he knows like it's on him. He needs to be better. He needs to be better and do things better. It's just executing. He needs to go out there and prove it and execute it. And I think that's just going to be the message this week before they go out and play the Colts, this coming weekend.
Well, I hope so. I hope they get this thing turned around. I think is a great chance for them to get it turned around. They should be 2-0. They had every opportunity to do that. Houston gave them every chance to do that and come out with a dub, and they didn't. So I got to go back to the drawing board, and I hope they're able to go down to Indy, because Richardson's another dangerous dual threat quarterback. Although he's not as, he's going through his issues and his struggles as well. I hope we get some pressure on him and force him to make a couple bad decisions. So we'll see how it plays out. Cole, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
All right, yeah. I'm on Twitter at A to Z _slaw. I know you're asking about it. It's, a joke with the name Coleslaw. This is the kind of thing I've been running with since, playing football in high school. So yeah, find me on Twitter, A to Z Slaw, and then A to Z Sports, all the Chicago news in the Chicago section. So I appreciate the time, Shawn.
Coleslaw. I get it. Nah, I get it. I see. Brilliant. Hey, great stuff, dude. We'll have you back on it soon. All right. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All righty. Guys, that's Cole Noble from A to Z Sports, talking Bears football with your boy. Yeah, interesting. Couple of different takes. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and again, I'm old school, and there's just too many different opportunities for the Bears to impose their will or set a tone. All right. I asked Matt Eberflus last year in a post-game presser what the identity was, and he didn't really give me a straight answer. And I have the same question for him now. What's the identity of this team? Specifically, the offense. All right. The defense is one that flies around and very opportunistic. All right. Takes the ball away a lot. But what is the identity of this offense? All right. If this offense can come up with an identity, you got to get the players that fit that identity. All right, you need to get players. I mean, and I hate to use these guys, but those jamokes up north. All right, you got Josh Jacobs, powerful running back. All right, their former running back, Aaron Jones, goes to Minnesota. I know he had a fumble yesterday down the goal line, but another good, powerful running back. All right, we do play in Soldier Field in the winter. Like, we're going to need somebody who's powerful, that can break tackles. I'm still on board. I still co-signed the DeAndre Swift signing, but man, let Khalil Herbert or Roshan Johnson play. We need a different pace, a different style of running back. And why they're not being used more, I don't know. And that's bothersome. That is bothersome. This play calling is an issue, and it's offensive line. So what can we expect now? Do you not want to put Kramer in like Cole said? Do you not want to put Kramer in? I mean, how much worse can it be? Justin was hit, Freudian slip. Caleb was hit 11 times, sacked 7. How much worse can it be? What does Chris Morgan go into the meeting room today? What's his tone? What's his energy? What's his vibe? Does he come in and rip him a new ass? I would. Or is it just like, oh, okay, let's do better, guys. Come on, we got to do better. Or do you sit there and say, you sucked yesterday? What the hell were you doing? Why didn't you pick up this blitz? Why didn't you pick up this high school level stunt? What is the issue? Why do I have 3 guys blocking a 3-tech and the other guy spins around and runs right up the middle of the line, right in the Caleb's face? Why? Why is this why is this happening? Everyone wants to be friends with their players. They want to be friends with their players. And guess what? You're not friends. You got a job to do. And sometimes when you got to put foot to ass, you got to put foot to ass. And I don't know if they're doing that enough at Hallis Hall. Because you're going to get this guy killed. You're going to get this guy killed. You can't stop 3 guys on a 3-tech, and the other guy just rolls, stunts around, comes right up the middle. No one has the thought process. I got 3 guys on 1. No one else is coming. I don't know. It's frustrating. I mean, this is high school stuff. So like Chris Morgan, that's why I'd be pissed if I'm Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. I'm going in there raising hell and high water. I'm calling everybody out. I'm calling everybody names in that room. Everybody. You can't tell as a professional offensive lineman, you can't tell when a twist is happening. Sometimes maybe they need to have their feelings hurt. This is football. This is not tiddlywinks. This is hopscotch. This is a grown-ass man's sport. If you can't take criticism, find another sport. Pickleball's growing in popularity. Go do that. But there needs to be a level of accountability. You got to call people out. Joseph Archer, same problem Justin had, but everyone was blaming Justin. No, it had to be Justin. He held the ball too long. No, he can't read a defense. He can't do all this. Don't get me started, Joseph. Don't get me started. But now, again, we're not going after polls, and hopefully people go after polls now. This is on you. You need to draft linemen. Period. I don't worry about an edge rusher next year. Give me a God-blessed offensive lineman with your first-round pick. If the Panthers continue to lose what they're doing, they might have the number one overall pick, and we got their second round, which means it's basically a late first-round pick. So give me some guards. Give me a center. It's not like there weren't any good centers in the draft this year. Fritz from West Virginia, the kid from Georgia, the kid from Oregon. There's one more that I'm forgetting. This is on polls. If you build this offensive line through the draft, remember, you got rid of James Daniels. You got rid of him. You didn't want to pay him. You let him sign somewhere else. Imagine James Daniels as your left guard. Imagine Tevinjenkins on a right guard next to Darnell Wright. Oh, that's a whole different offensive line, isn't it? That's a whole different offensive line. That's an offensive line with a lot of attitude. So you don't sign James Daniels, you don't re-sign him. Man, that dude was a stud. He was a player. A guy that you sit like, man, I could see him at that left guard spot for 10 years. And he got paid like it too. Well, guess what? You should have paid him. Instead of giving his Jamoke Nate Davis $10 a year for 3 years. I don't give a damn what type of skill position players we have, how much talent we have in the wide receiver room, how much talent we have in the backfield, how talented our tight ends are. When you get your quarterback hit 11 times and sacked 7, come on, man. Come on, man. Football is easy. Why do people insist on making it difficult? Why do people insist on being the smartest people in the room? Oh, we're going to outthink people. Ryan Pace goes drafts Adam Shaheen out of that online college or some shit, Ashland, whatever. Outthinking. I got to be the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes just be a smart guy in the room, not the smartest. Do what's been tried and true. Get your offensive line. Get your defensive line. You're worried. You've been worried like hell about this other edge rusher. Worried like a son of a gun on his defensive line. You ain't worried about this offensive line? Colton Shelton sucks. He sucks. King Booker Woods, you're a fool. Adam Shaheen from DeVry. You're a damn fool. Oh, man. Joseph Archer. Joseph said, I said that last year when Poles didn't get Justin no type of offensive line help. I agree. And why do you not see this as a former offensive lineman? Why? Why? See, free agency sucks. Offensive linemen, I would always say, if they're drafted and developed, because if you're that good of an offensive lineman, they don't let you go unless you're the Bears and let James Daniels go. Very rarely do top offensive linemen hit the market. Very rarely. Kevin Scott says, barring injury, Nate Davis and Coleman Shelton shouldn't see another down for the Bears. You're goddamn right, Kevin. You're damn right. Because the attitude and the apathy, the lack of intensity that you play with is embarrassing. It's embarrassing to you. It's embarrassing to your family. It's embarrassing to the program you came from. It's embarrassing to the staff who paid you. You're living a dream, and you don't have the intensity necessary. You know, I mean, everyone talked about again. I'm not saying, I don't want you to think that I think, oh my God, the Chica Little, the sky's falling. No, but I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the whole picture now. I'm looking specifically at yesterday, but I'm looking at the whole. What does yesterday signify for the rest of the year? Are they just going to all of a sudden get better? Coleman Shelton's going to get a gold jacket now after he watched film and gets a foot put in his ass? No. A season that could have been 12-2, now I have to worry. Come back next week? Okay, good. We beat the Colts? Better. But there has to be changes. There have to be changes made. And it starts up front. I'm not speaking from the mountaintop on some prolific. I'm not pontificating. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows offensive line, defensive line wins games. You don't believe me? Ask Patrick Mahomes when he lost in the Super Bowl. He didn't have his 2 tackles. What did they do? They went and got 2 great tackles. Now he's back-to-back Super Bowl champ. So why this continues to be an issue, I don't know. Shane Waldron, I need a better game plan out of you. We need a better game plan out of this guy. I don't know about you. Did you see the pocket move yesterday at all? I didn't. And I know you have defensive ends that were studs, but here's a crazy idea. This is what I'm talking about identity. How about you run at him? Crazy idea. How about you run at him? How about you move the pocket? How about instead of an outside zone, how about you have an outside lead? You have a tight end there, boom, you hit him, you let him go, here comes the fullback right behind him. Crazy. How about you set the tone? Oh, you got good defensive ends? Good. We're running right at them. They did that. People did that when we had Khalil Mack. Remember that? Khalil Mack had some issues when you had a 300-pound lineman coming at his ass. But we don't do that. Because it goes back to what I said before. What is this offense's identity? What is it? Because I can't tell what it is. I can't tell. Roberto, wait, our fullback was out yesterday. Yes. Cardi Blasingame was out yesterday with a wrist and a knee, a knee injury yesterday. He was ruled out on Friday. Armando Lara Jr. says, the other teams now know we are weak at center and guard. You're damn right. You are damn right. If you don't think the Colts are going to bust up double A-gap blitzes, put pressure up the middle, you're crazy. Because that's what I would do. That's what I did. I remember plenty of games. I'll break down film and like, oh, God, this center sucks. This kid's got to know he can barely get the ball back. Snap the ball. His right hand's coming up too slow. Put my best nose guard or my best D lineman on the center. Game over. So if I did it, I was a high school coach. What do you think they're going to do in the NFL? They're going to overload those A gaps. But again, Shane Waldron had the chance to go a lot more power coming downhill, when Nate Davis wasn't tripping over the center. But why not? I need those answers. And if we get credentials for the following game, the week after, that's my question to Eberflus. What's the identity of this offense? I'll ask him again, like I did last year. Because that seems to be the issue. Health is another one. But God bless it. Go draft some offensive linemen with high picks. Was it James Powers Johnson? JPJ? James Powers Johnson. Was that the kid from Oregon? The center, James Powers Johnson. You had Fritz from West Virginia, and I can't think of the guy from Georgia. Like, you had those guys. And let me ask you the question. Did you really need to take Torrey Taylor in the 4th round? Because as much of a way, would he have been there later? Would he have been you know what I mean? Would he have been there in the 6th round? You jump back in for a 6th round pick, you know what I mean? And get him with a 6th rounder? Jake, thank you, Jason. You go, boy. You go, boy. Cedric Van Pran. That's who it was, the kid from Georgia. Zach Frazier, the kid from West Virginia. Zach Frazier was West Virginia. Van Pran was from Georgia. And Jackson Powers Johnson was from Oregon. I mean, this is. So now when we all praise his draft, we're like, and I was one of them. Don't get me wrong, I was one of them. I'm not forgetting the fact that I liked the draft too, but now we can't even tell because they've been injured. All right, remember Nate Davis got injured, so that means Bates had to go to right guard and Shelton had to go to center. But Shelton sucks. Now Bates hurt, so Nate Davis is back. Nate Davis has been on iffy ground since he got here. Now he's with a poor center. And it's making Tevin look bad. It's making him look bad, and Tevin's doing a good job of making himself look bad. He's another one who got confused on a stunt. I'm like, come on. Like, how do you to me that is it's unimaginable how you can not in football. Roberto says, when is the local kid from Hinsdale going to be ready? You think he can help? He's going to be a Kieran Amagaje. Yeah, he wasn't dressed. Maybe he will. I don't know. Roberto. He might be. I mean, he's a smart kid. He went to Yale. So maybe he can see a stunt when it's happening. Jason, we're going to be relying on our defense for a while now. They can't play lights out every game. Oh, they're going to have to. They can play lights out. They're going to have to. They gave up 3 points in the second half. And they almost won it. But the Kyler Gordon interception, crazy interception. They almost won it. How about them their apples if he would have won it? If the Bears would have won that game 20-19 because of the pick from Kyler Gordon. Joseph says the Bears defense can't win all the games for us. We need help on the offensive line. The defense might have to win some games. They won it last week, almost won it this week. I was asking that same question, Joseph. Joseph Archer said, "What's up with Doug Kramer? How much worse can it get? How much worse can it get?" Yeah, Jason, man, Kyler Gordon almost had that sucker. Almost had that sucker. He gets it. There was no one there. He skipped into the end zone. It would have been 6. Game over. Game, set, match. We win. We walk out of there. Like, how the hell are we 2-0? But I love this franchise. And for some reason, we just can't seem to get the offense straight. Even we had studs. Remember when we had Cutler? We had Brandon Marshall. We had Alshon Jeffrey. We had Matt Forte. We had Martellus Bennett. All those guys were going to the Pro Bowl. All those guys were Pro Bowl players. So what do? You give Jay Cutler 7 offensive coordinators in 6 years. New system you got to learn every year. Really? Really? So I still stand on it, looking like a fool, but I still stand on it that Shane Waldron was the most important acquisition this offseason. He's got to make a change. It all starts with him. You got to get these guys in better position to be successful. Yes, I wanted the short passing game, but I didn't want this to be a Gary Croton offense. I needed more slants. Those slants to DJ Moore you saw in the highlights, that's what I want. Slant DJ Moore, swing the running back out the same side. Put pressure on that flat defender, which is the cornerback. Or if they're a man, it'll be the linebacker trying to stick with DeAndre Swift. That's what I want. Put people in a bind, Shane. Put them in a bind. Make them make a decision. Whatever they do is wrong. You too, huh? Jason said, you're not the only one, Shawn. I was crowing about what a great hire Waldron was. It was a great hire. You look at what he did with Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. I was excited. And I did, Roberto. I did say Gary Croton. Remember all it was with damn screens at the sidelines, him and Nagy. Well, Nagy had curls. Screens and curls. King Booker World, I wasn't impressed with Houston. Yeah, I wasn't either. I wasn't impressed with Houston either. Because we had that game. So my thing with this defense, you had enough film. Why did it take you to the second half to become locked down? You had a whole year of film. Same offensive coordinator, same quarterback, most of the same receivers. You have plenty of film to watch. Why does it take you to the second half after adjustments are made? I don't know. But I love the adjustments that are made. Don't get me wrong. Because you held them to 3 points again. Jason said, Waldron did great with a weak O-line and Geno Smith last year. He attacked all 3 levels, uses available talent well. So frustrating. Yes, it is. And that's what we're looking here. Where's the levels? Where's the movement of the pocket? You have an athletic quarterback to get out to the edge. Again, this is, to me, this is the lack of identity. Joseph Archer says, why didn't we keep Trubisky? He had a passer rating of 95.4 with 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. What happened after that year? Well, he was still running the ball, and they said they want you to pass. They want you to win from the pocket. And so Kevin Scott says, I think the coaching staff deserves a lot more criticism than we're giving them. How about us making adjustments after every series versus half? I agree. Come on, man. You got to come off. The information you're getting, you're looking at a tablet. You can tell what they're doing as soon as you come off. It's not still pictures anymore. Remember when they used to have just pictures? Now you're looking at a tablet and seeing what they're doing. You've got to go to work. They got to go to work. It's so early in the season. This season, listen, I still think they can go 7-2 in these first 9 games before they hit the meat of the last 8 games. I think they can do it. But damn it, change has got to start yesterday. They got to have a new outlook. They need an identity. Plank, what's up, Papa? Figure out what the hell your identity is. I need some piss and vinegar out of these offensive linemen because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it, and I don't like it. Man, well, listen, 2 hours is coming and gone. I want to thank my guy, new to the show. Very, very happy with him. Cole Noble from A to Z Sports, covers the Bears for them. I want to thank him for coming on, joining, talking Bears football with me. I want to thank you guys. Man, this chat was lit today. Lit as usual. Peace out, Grizz. Roberto says, look, we can improve with someone that's the yak out on this. Oh, I agree with you. Jason, the first 9 games I said 7-2. We have a legit shot at coming out 7-2 before we face Green Bay. This was one of the teams I thought we would lose to. The Rams are another one. Indy, we can't lose to them. We come out 7-2 after those first 9 games. We are sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. Listen, for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I want to thank you for tuning in. First of all, this will be replayed tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. So make sure if you missed it, you can go back and check it out, or just go to YouTube and play it again. All right, 12:15, Lakina and Sid are going to join you for another 2 hours of sports conversation. Okay. Yes, we are so upset because they should have won. Joseph Archer, all I'm going to say is I was a Justin guy. You're new, and I appreciate you checking us out because I keep it real here. But I was a Justin guy, and I wanted them to keep him. So, but guys, make sure you excuse me. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday. All right, I'll have more. I'll look at the film. I'll probably have some clips from the game, the replay, and we'll go over them, and we'll talk about them on Wednesdays once I look at the film. All right. So, guys, have a phenomenal day. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. All right. The finality of life, of death. I should say the finality of death is powerful. All right. Make sure you have, conversations, text messages. Like hell, this was a great weekend. I spent time with some old friends. Saturday, my friend from college, I hadn't seen her in a while, came in. Yesterday, I spent time with people from my first grammar school. All right, spend time with people you care about. All right, life moves fast, according to Ferris Bueller. If you don't stop and take a look once in a while, you're gonna miss it. Next thing you know, all you do is see people at funerals, and you say, "Oh man, We should stop meeting like this. This is the only. We should meet other places. We should meet another time, not just here. And you don't really do it. So make sure you do that, folks. All right, I'm out of here. I gotta go pick up the warden from CrossFit. Hey, I appreciate all you sports owners. Thank you so much. Again, I'll be back on Wednesday. This gets replayed tonight at 6 o'clock Central Time right here on Sports Zone Chicago. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.